Hello, I'm here with Doc Searls today from Harvard University. Hi, Doc.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Do you mind introducing yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I've been for a number of years a fellow, though now an alumnus fellow at the Berkman Center for Internet and Society at Harvard University, where I continue to run something called Project VRM. That stands for Vendor Relationship Management, which is the customer side counterpart of customer relationship management, which is this $18 billion a year business that sends you junk mail and runs call centers and tries its best to relate to customers, sometimes successfully and sometimes not. And the idea with VRM is to equip the customers, you and I, with tools that give us both independence from sellers but better ways of engaging with them.
And we've been talking about that today at the Brainstorm and also yesterday with the World Economic Forum. And so just to summarize this back, it's a way of giving consumers control over who contacts them, who gives them offers, what kind of things it covers?
It's mostly control. It's partly it's control over themselves, their digital identities, how they manifest themselves to sellers. The terms, like right now we live in a system where all of the terms of engagement are controlled by the seller.
Yeah.
Which is actually a huge burden on the seller. Yeah. You know, they have to, here's the thing, you say you accept it, and and we have to accept it no matter what it says. But what if we could say, here's my fourth party, which is a third party working for me, that can tell you my credit's good, that I'm not a terrorist, that I pay my bills, that I'm a good citizen, there's nothing else you need to know. And oh, by the way, I would rather you not track me, and that you can use my data in a non-personally identifiable way. But those are terms that would actually be very helpful to both sides. It's just one thing you can do with VRM. But the main idea is that we are in control of our data, we're in control of our policies, we're in control of our preferences, we're in control of what we express, which might include things like issuing what we call a personal RFP. I need a stroller for twins in downtown San Francisco in the next 2 hours. Who's coming through? Without having to go to any one seller in order to do that. So the idea, as you've described it, as you say, is this fourth party, almost my agent, essentially. And I guess this is an online concept primarily. It can be offline too. There's no reason for it to be.
So what sort of timescale do you see it coming to reality? You've been working on it for a few years. We've been covering this area for a while too.
Yeah.
What's your view on the timescale?
I think it's an open question because invention is the mother of necessity. I mean, what was the time scale for an iPhone to show up? As soon as one shows up, the whole world changes. I think there are any number of development projects going on right now that may break through. They may not. I think once one or two of them do, it'll be 2-3 years. Yeah. In the absence of them, longer. But I think it's inevitable that we will have tools that give us independence. I think that is implicit in the peer-to-peer nature of the internet as it was first designed. For the last 15 years, we've been kind of stuck in the client-server model where the servers run the whole show. When we start running our own show, it's going to be a different world. So how that happens. And
you used some great slides today talking about the language that people use about customers today, about acquiring, owning, capturing, targeting.
Right.
We've been quite aggressive and really this being about a change of mindset. And we saw some quite interesting dialogue too from AT&T in this instance, who were talking, well, actually we're rethinking how we deal with customers. We were talking earlier about, is VRM a big opportunity for telcos, and if so, why?
I think it's an enormous opportunity for telcos because telcos actually have a relationship with their customers. Google doesn't. I mean, they have a relationship with advertisers, those are customers, but the same problem that broadcast had, commercial broadcast that is, where the consumers of the product and the user and the customers were different populations. Has been this is a plague on commercial television, for example, and radio in the U.S. It's now been visited on Google and Facebook. They don't have a relationship with you and me, not a paid one, not one where I can say to them, I call up Gmail service and say, hey, I pay you $20 a year or a month, and I want you to fix this problem. There's nobody home for that, but there is with telcos. I mean, there is an existing, actual, responsible, trusted relationship between telcos and their customers. They aren't just consumers; they're customers of the company. And I think that there's, when we're looking for a trusted fourth party that's a substantive commercial entity, you can't get much more substantive than a telco. For all the criticism we can level on them, they operate really complex systems. And they do very complex record keeping, for example, with billing. I mean, they've been described as billing operations traveling as communications companies. But there's an upside to that, which is, take for example, quantified self work right now. There are a lot of people tracking their personal data, their healthcare data, their fitness data, their travel data. And they want to put that in a cloud. Why not have that at the telco? You know, why not have and pay for that? You know, just it's one more billable item, but you can get it back out. Off-site backup. I mean, why should it go to Amazon? Why should you go to Amazon S3? You know, why not just go to your local telco, who, by the way, has low latency to your house? You're not communicating with Seattle. You're communicating with something that's down the street in a central office. You know, why not, you know, open up, you know, we talk about the cloud all the time. I think there's a real opportunity for telcos to start offering something closer to symmetrical internet service.
So Doc, to summarize, VRM sounds like it's going to be an important tool for consumers to navigate the online and offline worlds as we move forward, and potentially a big opportunity for telcos. How do you see the business model of that working?
I think it's fee for service. To me, that's the big one. Cloud services, discovery services, programming services. One of the things we're working on with VRM is the ability to actually program if-then logic for what happens in the marketplace. If I'm in this location and a friend is there, or a favorite coffee shop is there, then I'll get a notification. But not having to go to a Facebook or a Google or a Foursquare for that, but rather be able to integrate those things in one place or through one service that's working for us. You know, that's going to make life easy for us. One VRM scenario is I want to be able to change my address or my phone number for every supplier at once. I need a centralized service to help with that. The design is already there. A lot of the work here is already done. And interestingly, the leading people working on this are in the UK. And it's just another service that can be offered. You know, it's a competitive one. Others can do it as well. The advantage for a telco is that they already have a relationship with a lot of these people.
Great. Doc Searls, thank you very much.
Thank you.